channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Got a bunch of geezers watching me.
Yeah, I think I do actually have a bunch of geezers watching me. Hi, everybody. It's your favorite RN, Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray. And my goodness, end of the month. How's everybody doing? Is everybody having a great March 31st, working their way to Easter? Are you out on spring break? Are you seeing the grandkids? I didn't realize I should clean my glasses. Oh, my goodness. So it has been beautiful today. Also here in the glorious city of Virginia Beach. And we have some videos to catch up with Sarasota Tim today because I thought he would be putting out a lot more content. I have only seen 3 videos from Tim today. And I thought with it being the end of the month and gas going up to $4.29 a gallon, we would have had a video palooza from Sarasota Tim today, trying to get that end of the month, that YouTube monetization. Hey, GJ Shelly Shell, come on in. Tim isn't going anywhere. That's right. We've got a poll going. Thank you for the reminder. Make sure when you're coming in too, everybody, just said everybody can know that we are here, that we are going live, that I am around and legitimately out. Make sure that you do take the time to hit those likes. That's a great way to give free support to the channel because it's an unusual time. So I don't know if you're home cooking dinner. Maybe you'll catch us later on the replay. But however you find us, I truly appreciate you being here and finding me this afternoon. I went a little earlier today because I go to work tomorrow. And as you know, when one has a prison job, you need to make sure that you are active and available at all times. But today, I tell you, it's been absolutely gorgeous here in Virginia Beach. Let me know in the chat what you guys have been up to today, and I'm going to make you stars over here. Hey, Scott, how are you doing? Can't wait for April's Fools. Oh, my gosh, I totally forget about that. Thank you for the reminder of that tomorrow. I have memories that was always my grandmother's, one of her, she loved April Fools and she loved Halloween. And she would always love to find, you know, in the newspapers, you may remember they do a story that was an April Fool or something on the news, or she would try to do a little fool on us in some way or another. And so, and I always forget about that. And actually, it's my patient's birthday tomorrow. So I already gave her birthday gifts because I know tomorrow we've got a busy day. And so, but I did some stuff like that already. So, and today in Virginia Beach was absolutely glorious. I went out with the dogs. We were walking through the trails. Hopefully that I've tired them out a little bit. Finally. And so we got our steps into today. And if anybody has been watching my channel for a very long time, one of the first things that I had as shorts were Junebug and her steps, and obviously me with her out and about here in Virginia Beach. So if you go back, you can catch us doing that sort of cardiovascular health long before our good friend Sarasota Tim. So today's title is Preaching Push-Ups and Public Loans, of course, and the truth about Tim's spiritual charade, because I think it's really worth always mentioning, because it happens a lot on public figures, even the ones who are already preachers who get even more religious. I mean, what can we say about that? You know, who's the one I always think of? The one that was Tammy Faye's husband. Wasn't he the one who got in big trouble with the all that stuff? Barker, the Barker, Baker. He was Baker too. Jim Baker. I finally got there. Anyway, how you doing? Hi. Move on to Garden of Oils topics. Of Oils topic? What topic is that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Going to get my salmon out of the oven. Much better than burger and eggs. Oh, I like that. I love salmon. I think I'm going to do a roasted cod and some stuff with some kale later on. I don't cook. It's ready to go. Hey, Kevin, come on in. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. Well, you're not too late, Ann. We just got started because I need to not be hopped up at 10 o'clock at night and trying to get to sleep for work. So I had to get a little bit earlier today, guys. And I wanted to come out for the video palooza. But I think maybe there's two videos that I'm really interested in. I don't know about the beach ones. They're pretty boring. The one in the car we're going to take a look at. And then there was one that he did a few days back. It always feels like a week ago, but it wasn't that long ago, where Tim talks about living his best life ever in his 60s. And it's just such a journey of just Tim just in love with himself in such a way that I just feel like I want to watch it. I've been wanting to watch it with you guys. So, and then if we have a little time, maybe we'll go back and take a little 3 times. I can't understand him. Hey, Dave. Florida Timmy was tenderfooting it today, a little out of breath. You think he was out of breath walking? His riveting content walking. I know. I mean, if I want to go listen to the lapping waves, I'll just go right here to Virginia Beach. And it was gorgeous. We went to the trails today. And Roscoe, I got to get Roscoe and Junebug off leash and let them run and actually burn out some real energy. So it was gorgeous. Okay, so we do have a poll going. Let me get over to Nightbot so I can see what my poll is. It's all to do with whether Timmy is going to travel or not. And so if you haven't had a chance and you pop in and you want to take a part in that, I really do appreciate it. I just do these for fun. And it's always interesting to hear what you guys have to say. Is Sarasota Tim going to leave Bradenton for Easter to travel? I mean, it's spring break, everybody. He has been talking about travel in the microlight RV. Oh, I need to show that video. I have to make sure. Oh, gosh, I have so much. I totally forgot about that. I want to share the video when he starts at some point with the lady saying that those microlight things are terrible. We're gonna have to find that because it's totally the opposite to what Tim says. And she seems to have a 100K plaque behind her. So I'll take her expertise. All right. Is Sarasota Tim going to leave Bradenton for Easter to travel? At number 1 in 77.8%, we got 36 votes. No way. Not with $4.29 a gallon gas. And somebody let me know in Chesapeake, it went over $4. And I paid $3.95 yesterday. So I'm glad I filled up yesterday if it went over $4 in that area today. So that was a lucky break for me. Not for long, though. And second place, we have at 18%. Maybe it's going to happen later on. And, you know, there's always that gonna do it. Tim's definitely gonna potentially travel over to Georgia. We don't know. Maybe for the autumn. Maybe for the Festival of the Apples or whatever he was talking about. And then in last place at 3%. Yes, it's an Easter travel hunt. Absolutely. Tim has been talking about him having, you know, he's just going to go. And he's not even going to, you know, God will speak to him and let him know what to do. And he will travel. So if you have a chance and you want to participate in that poll, I would love you to do so. You paid $3.65 today. That's Virginia. That's up Northern Virginia. That's good. And then we have over here $6.35 in LA. Oh, I don't think Tim's going to want to go out west at those prices. I am so sorry. Wow. Let us know in the chat what you've been paying. I paid $3.95 yesterday, but it's already changed. Timmy ain't man enough to show up in court by himself. His daughter got to hold his hand. Well, that's possible. No phones in the court, though. All he does is lie and fake promises. I kind of think he has reached a point where, as a creator, he is losing some of his authenticity with his audience. I mean, I don't know about you, but me, I don't like a talker. You know, I'd rather you just say nothing And then if you're going to do it, commit. That's just always been my way. Not to say that I haven't always fallen apart. Sammy's paying. Hey, Sammy, over 4 here. Yeah, hit the likes, please. At least the market was up today for once. Well, we know Tim doesn't participate in the market, which maybe he should. LA is always expensive. Yes, yes. Getting to $5 here. Wow. 4 here, 420 in Moab. Oh. And for a vehicle such as Tim's that gets what? And if you have to think that I'm curious what his city miles are, but obviously if he's hauling all of the micro light, even though it's light, I mean, that has to, even with highway miles, that has to add to the cost. And his vehicle's even a little bit older, so his fuel efficiency, may not be as it was when he first purchased the truck a couple of years ago. I know he does all his oil changes and filters and so forth. So for that type of efficiency, I'm sure he's good to go. Gets 12 miles to the gallon. Oh, I can't imagine. See, I have a very small car. I have like a little SUV crossover type, and I'm almost finished paying it off. I'm so excited. So for that, everybody, make sure that you give me a like. And let me hide the comments, because if I don't hide the comments, then you're not going to see me like and subscribe. Hit the likes and subscribes. I really appreciate it. So yeah. And what are you getting? His Tim will have his daughter drive. Well, I'm sure she has a job. So I don't know if she's going to be willing to take her PTO like that. It's a long way. And, I hope that, he's getting himself together. 10 cents. We'll see. It's going to be a long trip. You hope he brings the golf clubs. Yeah. I doubt he will. He likes to say he shows those and says he's a good Christian. Okay, let's hit Timmy. Let's get into these reacts, guys. All right. We've caught up for a little bit. Let's react. 1.5 speed. That's what I understand him at, Tar Heels. Oh my God, Timmy out. I put my Johnny Cash t-shirt on to honor Tim's man in black outfit. And he also has recently, if you have noticed, since he's become more like Preacher Tim, has started wearing collared shirts more in his persona. Prior, he would be always wearing his t-shirts recently, more of his little athletic look. And since he's gone into like Pastor Tim, Preacher Tim, and I'm just a sort of wealthy, because he got more dress shoes too. So he's kind of wanted to look a little bit more professional lately, a little bit more like a preacher. So it's wild. I had the same clothes forever.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Well, which way do I go? At $4.29 a gallon, I don't want to go too far. I think I can still get it for maybe under $4 at BJ's Wholesale, but I passed a racetrack yesterday, $4.29 across the street from Walmart in the ghetto where people don't have any money, and they're charging $4.29. And racetrack, a lot of you are familiar, is a low-cost gas station, supposedly. So anyway, a barrel of oil was 102 or 3 yesterday when I inquired about it. Oil should be, $40-50 a barrel. Should be cheaper than that. They're making plenty. They sell billions of barrels.
Oh gosh, now we have Tim out here being, the unlicensed financial guru. Just like I don't do this channel is always for entertainment information purposes only. Though I am a registered nurse here in the United States, I do not treat or diagnose anybody. But I can correct medical misinformation, of which Timothy gives out a lot. That's why I want to show the other video.
Anyway, I can go walk the bridge. I can go walk Coquina Beach. I can go to Nathan Benderson Park. And it just seemed like Coquina and Bradenton Beach, especially at this hour, is just a simpler drive. And that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I got my 10,000 steps in. There were 7,000 steps I got when I walked the beach. And then I did another session. Where did I go? Anyway, picked up some more. This morning, got up. No push-ups yet. prayed, read the Bible, watched some Christians.
I swear. All right, you prayed, you read the Bible. We don't even think you really have a Bible, Tim. Well, we know you have some big print Bible. What's wrong, Junebug? You just woke up. I'll get you fed in a minute. I promise. I'll feed you in a second. You're fine. You'll survive. Pit bulls are very vocal. Timmy, keep complaining.
Stuff on YouTube. Those
there we
I
go.
got it.
Oh,
Those
Lord.
AI things.
Yeah.
One of you wrote in comments that
Yeah.
some of that AI is being programmed to lie. Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good. He could talk about it till he's blue in the face, but he looked terrible. His eye looks dreadful most of the time. His skin looks very unhealthy. He looks dry. And, I mean, keep going, Tim. I'm going to have to take care of my dogs and go off camera, guys. I apologize. Keep talking, Tim.
you'll know the truth when you hear it, and the truth will make you free. I'm pretty well versed in the Bible, and if somebody, nothing I've heard other than, just promoting, making you feel good, reminding you of the promises. I haven't heard anything yet. There's a lot of them I don't want to listen to that go on and on and on for like 45 minutes. I like the ones that are under 30 minutes. But I think they're fantastic. I haven't found any problems yet. Today, I'm waiting for the lights to come. They'll be here tomorrow. That I'm going to be putting on the rack. That I'm going to have my trailer guy put on. Turn this heat on here. We got 68 degrees. And I think everything's gonna be coming together at the right timing. I'm thinking about starting out and gathering my thoughts, just like I did last time, and maybe heading to Georgia and getting some hiking in and stuff before, and looking for places there, off-road places to ride. And they got them. So that's kind of an idea I have. We'll find out. I'm gonna grab me another cup. I've already had 2 pots this morning. I could have made a video in the camper, but I decided I'd make one in the crusher here, and we'll make another one at the beach. What's the latest with Tiger Woods?
Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had 2 pit bulls that I took out, like I said, on the trails for an hour today. I'm so sorry. And they wanted to eat upon waking, and they were going to get like annoying if they hadn't. So apologies for that. Georgia is closer to Virginia. Yeah, but it's still pretty full. It's still like you're going to have to stay overnight somewhere. It's not a drive that's easy to do in a day. It's definitely a 2-day drive from where he is in Florida to Virginia. So it's going to be a while. Tiger who? Yeah. Tim trying to criticize Tiger Woods, of course, because there's nothing that makes somebody like Tim feel better than somebody who's rich and successful messing up their lives. Especially when Tim has obviously potentially his own stuff going on. So it's he's going to want to criticize Tiger Woods. He just talks, and he really is so critical, like, oh my goodness. Obviously he is somebody who has some very deep struggles happening that I believe should be probably professionally handled with more than just medical care. Obviously Tiger Woods needs to have some mental health care too, because he's had too many of these incidences happen. He's obviously struggling, but Tim is not the person who's licensed to talk about that.
You get out of jail? This guy, man, that's a sad story. It's a sad story for anybody that's got that kind of, anybody really that's got that kind of addiction, but to have the world.
I mean, he can talk about obviously whatever he wants. I'm just saying, when it comes to matters around addiction, Tim is somebody who's openly admitted to having issues around alcohol. And we already know that he seems to get a little bit excited when he gets any type of controlled narcotic medication.
Is your oyster, to be esteemed so highly, to be loved and admired, to have all that money.
See the ambient chaser.
And as you can see, without the good Lord in your life and without health, you got nothing. I mean,
he is so arrogant. I mean, he really does believe that he only himself, this is my belief, my opinion only. Drop your opinions in the chat. That he is the only one who is, do no wrong, got his together. And we know he doesn't. We know this is all fraud to his audience because we know in reality that Sarasota Tim has an upcoming case where he is the defendant to me. So we are very aware of this.
Look at these people that were super, super famous, like Prince, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Elvis. That they were taken from this world way too soon. And they achieved such.
I think that's when Sarasota Tim banned me from his channel. I left a comment when he had that accident, and I let him know that I had been out of town and had an accident, and my insurance company had put it in like Caliber Collision or one of these shops to do the body work and the repairs, and it took forever. Just took a long time, and he was out of town, so I was sort of like, well, I hope it's some commenter like that. I'm sure it got deleted. Because he and Tammy were just like deleting anything that wasn't just talking about what a, awesome pair these two were. It's wild. Keep going, Tim.
Stardom, such
writing off his mileage,
recognition, and money. And look what it got him. Now, would you rather have the life they had, being high all the time and all that money and fame when they were sober, but be out of here like halfway through life? Or would you rather be not so rich?
Tim's going to hate prices in Virginia Beach. It's expensive. It's not inexpensive. Obviously, Virginia Beach is a resort city. And we have a lot of, it's just not inexpensive. The restaurants, anything that's coming along this area is not inexpensive. Oh, he's, I don't even know if they do senior coffees at McDonald's.
And not famous at all. And getting by. And live to a ripe old age and be happy, though, with family and knowing God in your life? I mean, it's kind of a dumb question, I think. Be kind of a dumb answer if somebody said, "No, I'll take Elvis's life. He had a great life, but it didn't end so well." And others, too. Many others. I was watching something this morning that was talking about, that a new season is coming for me. Or for whoever was watching that video, because it said, if you're watching this isn't by chance. You're about to come into a new season. And I mean, I believe that. Because not only is God real, but we are creating our own.
Oh, no. Come on, Tim. Seriously? You always talk about family. You do nothing for your family. I've already said that I would love to know one thing that you did of any significance with the earnings that you had from YouTube to do anything for your grandchildren or your children that are young still. What did you do? I'd love to know. Is it that secret? Because you put everything else that's dross and boring out here. And God and family and, hey, it's only 865 miles? Oh, how long is that going to take? 14, 15 hours? Sounds... I told you, it's so close. Yeah, you can get an RV park right down the street from the courthouse. Free parking at the courthouse. How does he know that those celebs didn't have God in their lives? Elvis used to sing gospel. Well, I would have thought that most of them had some type of religious. Prince was in the UK and thanked God for winning a music award there. And got laughed at and said he'd never come back to Britain ever again because he thanked God in a speech, which was like unheard of in the UK. And so people were like, why is he thanking God, And he hated that. So he got a little bit feisty, Prince. Michael Jackson was known to be a Jehovah's Witness, and his family was known to have been from religion. And obviously Elvis Presley too was from. It's because it's Tim. Tim is the only person who's got God in the right way. Everybody, if you don't have Jesus in your life the way that Tim has Jesus in his life, then you guys just aren't doing it right. You see? Don't you get it? That's why we got the Buy Me a Coffee to help Tim get saved over here. If you make a donation to Buy Me a Coffee for me and help my dogs get treats, you get to be virtually saved through Tim. Hey, you get to watch me? Yeah, come on in. We're always trying new times. Yeah, a lot of people are private about their faith. Not Tim. Tim is the most holy man on YouTube now. They always find religion. There's a bunch of them. You know, anytime their views start going down, you know, they want to, you know, capture an audience willing to send money, start talking about God and Jesus and stuff. It's a we know in the United States, this is always a successful recipe. You know, anytime you do anything wrong and you want to have zero accountability and take any responsibility for your actions, talk about Jesus.
Realities by our thinking.
I mean,
You go around down the mouth, watching the media, meditating on your problems and worrying, which hasn't solved a single thing, hasn't gained you one more day of life. It hasn't solved anything.
April 10th.
In fact, it creates problems.
Yay!
Then you need to change your thinking.
I really appreciate that super chat, Sammy. That's to support the creator fund over here. And I really do appreciate it, especially if I'm going to have to pay over $4 a gallon to drive to the courthouse. And it's, as we know, if you've been following the case, you know that it's going to be more than once. So I appreciate it. And as we know, we've had a number of donations, and obviously your likes help me too. So, and blah, blah, blah. So eclectic. He really is. But thank you for that, Sammy. You're always such a great support. And I can't wait for next month because I can gift out more memberships again. And hopefully we'll be going live again soon. So I really appreciate that. It's wild, his examples. I know, Michael Jackson, Prince, and Elvis. He must have seen something on YouTube talking about these folks. That's the only thing I can think, is he watched some AI thing about it. Tim is a treat to Christians. I don't say that lightly. Oh, well, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Sammy. You're awesome. It's wild, his example. Anyway, let's get back to Tim. Guys. Tim.
Nice
Tim
houses over here.
Timboree.
So many nice places to live here in Sarasota that are hidden, that when you go in there, it's like you have no idea of what's out here. Forget all that noise. It's quiet. You don't see anything. There's no ghetto in there. It's just seclusion. One area is called University Park.
Oh my God. I just cannot, every time he says that. I don't know if he does it to rage bait me now, but it's really just an awful thing to say about anything. You know, I'm sorry. He says he's a Christian. That is not, to me, it's just so bad. It's very racist. It's very racist.
University Parkway, just before you get to the mall. It's a huge area. I mean, it's big park, so I'm over the top of it. But at one time, when they first started developing it, it wasn't too bad.
I know. He is very.
But you can be in there. I play golf back there. You could be in there, and you have no idea where you're at. I mean, you might as well just be in the Garden of Eden, because it's just that peaceful in there.
Yeah, and Tim will do anything to try to get his way into a neighborhood like that. You know, taking potentially amounts of EIDL loan that weren't really ones that he was eligible for. Not that he couldn't gotten a little bit. I mean, his business had been closed for 1.5 years. So I'm still trying to make sense of how somebody, I know his business might have still been in operation in January of 2020, whatever that cutoff date was, to make him eligible for like the first round of PPP and so forth. But when you're getting to like a year later and you're taking another PPP loan, and then you're taking a large EIDL loan, and this business has long shut its doors and he had no intention of reopening it, how is that still possible? And with a one-person business to take $58,400 in EIDL, it just seems like, from everything that I understand, up to $10,000 was all he was ever eligible for. I don't think you could ever be eligible for that much money as a single entity business. no matter how much your business potentially was taking in. I don't know. A lot of people's accountants told him not to do it, but Tim probably never spoke to an accountant. He explicitly said that he watched YouTube videos, and that is what guided him to taking that EIDL money, which is not something that I should suggest. Not for those amounts of money.
That's what's really nice. If you can return home every day after you come out into this world, and then tune out the media and all that when you get home, and just focus on positive things, getting your walks in and stuff, that's joy. That's happiness. You know, a nice, comfortable place. You don't have to have a McMansion. Just as long as it's in a place that you're not being disturbed with racket. Where I'm at, I'm disturbed all the time by race motorcycles, race cars, blowing up bombs, firecrackers, gunfire, and
which is it, Tim? Yesterday we watched a video where you were proudly showing the yard of the Bradenton slab. I know he loves it. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be rude. It's just to Tim. I just do it for Tim because I know it pokes him. It makes me sound like a terrible snob. And I know there's people who have watched me who obviously, especially with everything in the United States, and I am not that way. I just poked him because he, in reality, in his circumstance, he wants to be at that golf course. Yet he's never worked hard in a time when opportunities in this country were much more abundant. There were far more opportunities for somebody with very little education, such as Tim, to have made money and have got a house. I mean, that is almost unheard of nowadays for younger people to have left school at 16 and be able to have said that you could reach a successful debt-free retirement. But we know that Tim is not debt-free. As much as he wants to talk about it, just as much as he wants to sell the idea that he's a preacher or that he's a religious, God-fearing man in reality. The things that he does are contradictory to that. Taking potentially government monies that you are not eligible for, that's not somebody who's acting, in my estimation, as a good Christian. Somebody who's willing to take somebody's golf clubs worth over $2,500 because you felt entitled to them, I guess. I don't know. You knew they were lent to you, and yet you decided they became a gift. It's the audacity. The way you treated JJ's home, the sort of, you literally were putting your dirty paws in his juju beans and just, talking and filming and showing her collections of her figurines and so forth, like literally giving a roadmap for people to break into their home. You didn't give a shit. So tired.
The area I live is not so
my
good.
French.
In there is fine.
6 o'clock.
Although they've had issues, but around there, I don't want to do it. That's why I have to leave every day. I come out here, I go to the beach. I got to find solitude, find beauty. But it's cheap, so there I am. It's not forever.
You guys are getting wild in the chat.
I promise you that. I think maybe in this new season I'm going into, God might even have me, who knows where. Who knows? All right, we're on the...
He says he's in a new season. God knows where he's going. Well, I know you're not picking up your mail, Tim.
Cortez Road. Here's my Walmart. I'll stop there on the way home. Can't pass it. Got to go in there.
Sold off.
Got up at midnight, 1, 3, 4:30, and 5:30. I remember the times. Like every hour or two. And what I've been watching on TV says, if you wake up at those hours, use those as opportunities that God is waking you up to thank him and pray to him.
Well, especially for a generation such as ours, that had opportunities to get property at very low pricing. We really were even my sort of older Gen X generation still had opportunities to get affordable housing. When I bought my condominium in the city of Virginia Beach, which is in the Beach District, which they've, had a lot of redevelopment and expansion. And then they suddenly fixed up this really nice park across the street from me that had been, U.S. Treasury land before, but suddenly it became this park with trails and dog parks and, just super nice. And next to it, like a neighborhood with $1 million houses now. And I paid $82,500 for the condo back in 2003. And I, came in later into the market because I had been living in other countries. Tim had plenty of opportunity to get housing at like next to nothing down in Florida. Next to nothing. But I think he'd rather have nothing so he couldn't get child support probably removed from him. Because Tim was always probably finding a way, this is my estimation, not, trying to maybe not show that he really had income. I don't know. But it just is wild to me, too. Especially if he said he did as well as he did.
And meditate on him. And so instead of grabbing my phone and scrolling, I prayed. And I was back off to sleep in no time.
Yeah.
And then 5:30, I said, that's it. I'm up. Put on a pot of coffee, a bottle of water, one bottle.
I mean, your decision making had to be really bad. Obviously it happens. And we've all been through some, really hard economic times and recessions. But we have been a lot more fortunate than other generations now who are coming behind us. And I think we are aware. And so it's interesting to see somebody, especially with so much of what he shows and how he obtained it. That's what kills me. And he's so proud of it. He's no remorse. That to me, and this is just me, that shows some really very distinct anti-social personality traits in my mind. I'm going to have to be getting out the DSM-5 again, guys.
I made one more. And then I started doing my praying and watching the Christian AI shows. And if it failed, I didn't feel the energy. I did some push-ups late last night. And I want to walk a little bit and get warmed up. And then I'll bang out my push-ups. I think I do them throughout the day instead of beating myself up to get 75 or 80 of them in one thing. Do 25, 30, 40 per session, 3 or 4 times a day. That's all. All right, Matt Giles, where are you? Let's get in there. Yeah, I got a couple of business things going on, and I got the trailer hitch thing going on. I got to grease the bearings in the camper. I want to test ride and test the carrying the motorcycle up there, all before I vamoose.
Oh, so he's vamoosing somewhere, guys. Whatever vamoose is, I guess it's vamos. Vamos.
So that's all upcoming, and I'll be crushing it.
Oh, sorry. Such a good pose. Oh gosh, crushing it. I don't know. 1,400 views 8 hours ago. I don't know. Let's take a look at the poll. What we got going on? We're going to take a look and see what he's got. 75 votes. Awesome, guys. Is Sarasota Tim going to leave Braden Tim for Easter to travel? Easter is this weekend. Can't believe it. I keep getting those little chocolate Easter egg mousse things from the Trader Joe's because they're so good. No way. Not with $4.29 a gallon gas, and it still could go up. I mean, every day it's just 80% say that. At second place, maybe it's going to happen later on. Yeah, 17%. Yes, it's time for Easter travel hunt, 2%. People think he is going to start moving out this weekend. Tim promises us travel. Yes, he does, guys. Okay, I wanted to watch this video with you guys because this video just blew my mind. And it was a while back ago. It was like over a week ago. And but when I heard this one, I'm just like, what in the narcissism is going on here? This person said, please stop preaching. 86 likes. I've been watching you from the beginning. I'm an adult. I can make my own mind up on religion. Stay with the basics. You're going to lose a lot of viewers. You're going to lose me. Keep crushing it, says Clarence White. This is a hot topic. Good point. Stay away with preaching. says Sherry. Mama text, the Bible tells us to spread the word and the truth and the light. Mama text, you're going to kill his channel. Scotty says, keep doing what you do, Tim. Old John says, Clarence, is a lot science can't explain. Well, yes, that's why people have religion. To make up for those gaps. Those few references from the Bible really bother you? Hey, Clarence, Tim's witness would have really annoyed me too at one time. Oh, gosh. Okay. Mama text. Come on, Clarence. We love you. What's Tim say? So, I know Tim said something. You must be new here with the infamous emoji. Oh, and someone said it'd be nice if they were more. This was the person's fourth comment, and they're already tired of my content. Hey, Clarence, come on by. We'll have you over here in our stream. You can get irritated about Tim's, preaching with us because you're on a close to the banned list. But Tim can't afford to get rid of too many more people. This video just killed me. Okay, this thing, living my best life in my late 60s. It's like Tim suddenly, the further he got away from certain timelines and dates, even though closer to another, his delusion just started to really get in here. And this is just a wild ride, guys. And then we'll take a look at something else, but this one's wild. This is just some grade A level narcissism that if you thought Tim was irritating and you haven't seen this video yet, hold on.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. I'm out here just taking a walk in this beautiful weather. Just got my truck washed at Sunstop Car Wash right behind me.
Yeah.
And actually, I forgot to do.
Well, you make a really good point there. All he can do now is talk about running away. He ain't going nowhere. And that is Tim. Tim is probably been a runner his whole life. Anytime anything got too complicated, this is just my estimation opinion. Anytime anything has become too complicated, too heavy, too anything, Tim is on the run because Tim is all about fun. But at some point in your life, all of those things, at some time, it will catch up with you.
Do what I was going to do, and that was to pull over right here and pull my mirrors back out.
Yeah. Going to the
I always have to stop and do that. I usually do it over there, but I got the idea of pull it over here in this big parking lot. It's right next to a big movie theater.
Yeah, he is.
And it's just really pretty. There's a pond over here. And maybe I could just take a walk. And
he's selfish because he's willing to not be able to take criticism too, Sammy, which which is like the height of like selfish hypocrisy. It's like you can't be. I get tons of criticism. We know that. I just ignore it. I've got to work on a video. I got a really good video coming out, guys, soon. The other person's like doxing and going wild on their own channel.
and chat for a minute, kind of think my thoughts. I have absolutely no script, no idea of what I want to talk about or what I need to talk about, what I should talk about, other than one thing I know. I talk.
I know. We haven't seen him head to the gym. You made a really good point. I'm bringing this back up, Margaret. Stacy, I think his silver sneakers benefit may have been dropped from his Medicare Advantage plan. Has anybody heard about that potentially happening at all? Like they're dropping that? I hope not. That was something that I used to tell my patients to use, but we have not heard him recently talking about the gyms like we used to. It's all been walking in the park and push-ups. So it seems like Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, all of these places, he doesn't seem to discuss them as much, does he? Interesting. Oh, we gotta do a gym watch now, guys. Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart.
I'm always talking. Here's a little duck pond right here.
He is broke. Oh,
I made a video one time at the other end down here about Social Security. I thought it was a nice visual. I know sometimes you guys are always seeing me in my studio, in my Flagstaff RV, in the kitchen there, because, it's convenient, and I wake up and have my coffee, and there we are. But now, sometimes we get out, we walk the beach, or we go different places, and I'm walking away from the car wash because I can hear the drier over there. So today is the 23rd of March.
in Florida.
And I am 67 years old. I'm retired.
Okay, Tim's going to tell us how he's got it good. But we're hearing that things are changing on his plans and stuff. Yeah, Tim. All right, Tim, guys, you gotta take a listen. I'm gonna focus on Tim because I need to stop at some of his. Yeah, remember to hit the likes. I appreciate it. This stuff is gonna be just intensely wild. Silver Sneakers is only available to specific Medicare Advantage plan Part C plans and some Medicare Supplement Medigap plans. Oh, so they've really made some changes because it used to be much more universal. But I guess if they're not required to carry it through law, like they might have been like part of what they had to provide, you know? And now they're like, no, you don't have to do that now. He should have waited 5 years. Well, Timmy had retired when he was in his 30s. So he was 55 years too early.
I'm single and I'm crushing life. 99 point, what should I make it, 99? Or should I make it 99.5, 99.9? We'll just go 99, right? Because 1%, and that's quite a bit, 1% is something. It's measurable. 1% of the time, probably more than that, right? But let's just use 1%. Go with me on this. Sometime, I'll say it like that, sometimes I'm not crushing it. I got things on my mind, I got things I got to do, and I'm not talking about shopping, I go grocery shopping.
Oh my goodness. When did grocery shop? Well, I guess in the current cost, grocery shopping is crushing it. The level of Delulu. It's like he just does what the rest of us do. Why is his any more interesting? Or because he's in Florida? I've got lots of audience in Florida. It's beautiful. And lots of people live in some beautiful places, Tim. I don't know where he's really desperately thinking his channel is like just all over the place at the moment.
Cut the grass, change oil in the truck. Don't cut grass, by the way. I don't know why I said that. But let's walk over here. Is it kind of dewy though? Mess up my new shoes. No, I'm not going to do that. It's very wet out there.
That's the real Tim. Right there. I'm repeating that. I'm going to play him normal speed. That was the one where I wanted to talk about him getting upset about some dew on his shoes.
I don't cut grass, by the way. I don't know why I said that. But let's walk over here. Is it kind of dewy though? Mess up my new shoes. No, I'm not going to do that. It's very wet out there. Do I have?
I don't know. It's just a level of vanity that I find astounding as somebody who's sort of studied it. Just Tim over the years, just I went out with the dogs today. I don't think I thought twice about what was getting on my clothes. I was in the trails, I just can't imagine if you're going to be out in a park or something, why you would wear shoes that you're worried about getting dew or nature on. Just astounding. And it's just a persona. And see, again, this is from 8 days earlier. It's the button down shirts, guys. This is the new look. This is Preacher Tim, serious Tim. Tim, who would never, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth.
A great life. I have an awesome life. I really do. I have to pinch myself sometimes and remember because you can slip into not having enough gratitude for what you have, always wanting more, buy something else, go somewhere else, meet somebody else, all these things you think you want, when really all you want is really something to be enthusiastic about, and you want to be healthy. And the more that I stay grounded with that, especially lately, the longer my happiness and feelings seem to stay without wandering into needing some kind of materialistic or person or something. And at 67 years old, it's funny how it takes us all of our lives sometimes to figure things out.
This is a guy who just spent ridiculous sums of money buying stuff for motorbikes he never used. Not even a couple of months ago. And now he's had this epiphany that, about stuff. Absolute garbage from this man, as always, in my opinion. Just absolute hogwash. And the dogs are going to take a fight.
Now. That we just don't seem to get it
You guys
when we're younger.
You guys are wild.
It's all about more play, and this and that. Let's walk back this way, and maybe I'll walk out around near the movie theater, and we'll wrap this one up. So I'm just trying to roll here with some ideas.
And we'll wrap this one up. Like, I know you got some views on this one, Tim, because, I think it's just like the hot, I don't know what. Do people really click on these types of videos, think, yeah, this guy really got it going on. I can learn something from this, loan fraud from the government, absolute liar who like crashed around the platform acting like he owned it. This guy? Seriously? I mean, this is a guy that we know how he was living before this image came out, because we remember Teddy's and the tent and everything else, and the naked gun videos from 8 years ago that are weird as heck, where he's got no shirt on and he's showing his gun, like his pew-pews. Weirdest stuff.
But I hear a lot of people in comments talk about, I've got the life. I'm like, well, how much different is it than your life? So I started thinking about it, because it's the only life I know, and it's really the life I've always lived. Even if I've been married or anything, I live a life that...
Oh, we'll have to check that video out, because it must have just been released. Oh, he loves a snipe.
Is about having fun, travel, and doing stuff. I've never had to work for anybody.
Oh, hey,
well, when I was young. And when I was in the car business for like 17 years, not only did I work for somebody, I was a prisoner. That's why I call them prison jobs. I literally was there from the time you wake up, about 8 in the morning, you had to be there for a sales meeting, till 9 o'clock at night. They called it bell to bell.
Oh, really, Tim? Wow. You needed to come into one of my 6:45 a.m. shifts where I didn't leave until after like 2 a.m. because I had to go and start like medical ports at people in other parts of the hospital at like 1 in the morning, because they didn't have sufficient like qualified staff to work certain floors. And I didn't feel competent leaving like travel nurses, new nurses alone with like complex patients, like on chemo, getting into weird cardiac rhythms, primarily atrial fib, and sometimes like ventricular rhythms that were dangerous, life-threatening. And then calling them still, in the middle of the night, making sure that they were still okay when I got home. Because we knew we had patients who were needing to get dialysis because their blood pressure was sky high. And I would be like telling the nurse, look, it's midnight. Call dialysis. Get them over there immediately and get that fluid off of them. It's the next day, because it's every other day for the dialysis patients. Just this, he wants to go on. I not to say it's not boring, it's not long, but other people do those types of hours. That's what he seems to be oblivious of. We all have worked some really hard and long hours, Tim, but we're not out here calling it all prison jobs, okay? Some of us, it's a calling.
And I did that for 17 years. And when I finally got out of that prison and I was paroled, I never looked back. I was gone. I started working for myself. Learned this advertising thing that I did for 33 years. And I did put in a lot more hours when I first started it, because I worked for somebody that taught me the business, but I was still an independent contractor. And then after a couple of years, I worked for him a couple of years. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this on my own. And I'm not gonna compete directly against the person. I'll move to another state.
Well, you can't. You probably had some contract signed. He could have probably taken you to court, Tim. Because I know that for even like medical stuff, like with my, there's like certain contracts that you sign that you can't practice in certain like areas and stuff, like with the doctors and my friend who's a nurse practitioner. They have all sorts of stuff. You always have to be very careful with your contracts. Tim, it's nothing new. You're not going through anything nobody has ever experienced in their lives. So this is why I'm trying to figure out, who are you talking to in your audience? Because I try to figure out within my audience is like smart and competent. I would assume they were watching you at some point and they realized that you weren't as smart and competent.
Of which God had a plan for me to do that anyway. And I did. And the rest is history. And then along came the the pandemic
Yeah.
and shut
I
us all down,
know.
especially people that had jobs like I did. And that was,
You know what? I grew up in a generation, maybe because of my grandma, being like from the Depression era. She was born in, I think, 1918, my grandma. She passed away when she was 91 in 2010. And she, I think it's 1918 or 1919, something like that. My grandma was one of those years. And so I had a person in my family and my mother's generation also that, if you got a job, that was considered to be like something like you counted your lucky stars if you got a good position somewhere. That was something to be happy about. That's what I remember. Like, it was something like, it's just, it was hard work. I just don't get Tim.
door to door, belly to belly selling. And when they said, get away from each other, we can't be near each other.
Yeah,
well, that was like the, the end game. So all of a sudden, I had a real wake-up call. It was
Thank you.
Well, what am I going to do?
Thank you for helping with the technical terms. Exactly. The non-compete clause. Thank you. And I'm sure Tim would have had something with that guy. The guy would have had something about the territories that Tim couldn't just come in and start doing that. I had things like that because I did sales at some point. So I did have some non-competes I had to be careful about.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And in very short order, God always has provided for me. And he just started opening one door after the other to lead me. I'm not going to go into a big religious sermon with you, but I'm just going to say that life is a plan. It's not your plan. You think you make your plans, but God.
Yeah, Tim basically worked for some other guy doing oil change coupons, and then he realized at some point that I guess the other guy was able to kick back and let Tim do the work, and Tim decided that he wanted to go out and then get a team together, and then he realized that the team didn't do as well as he did, so he got rid of paying employees anything, I guess, because he didn't probably want to share the commission, and he just decided to strike out on his own. That's the history of the oil change coupon business per Tim's words.
Lead your steps. Even if you don't ask him. Sometimes he's got a plan for your life and you keep deviating and taking a left when you should go right. And he puts a dead end down there. He puts a roadblock. He makes it uncomfortable. He takes something out of your life. He does different things.
I know. I have a nervous tick with my glasses, so I apologize. I need to stop messing with them. I didn't wear glasses my whole life, so having to wear glasses as an adult has been unusual for me. Contacts, I can't read well with them because I wear progressive. So it's like, anyway, so I apologize. I act like the school teacher constantly.
He's the devil or the enemy doing things.
The enemy?
He loves you so much and he wants you to fulfill the best life that he has for you. And what's your best life? Completely different from mine. Mine's completely different from yours. But people think they've got it defined. But what
I don't know. Something about Tim and this, God being like a cash machine to him that I just find repulsive, I guess. It's like, the only purpose for Tim to pray or talk to God is it's always about how it benefits Tim. I've never feel like it's really about anything but ingratiating Tim with something. That's why I just feel like it's just such BS-ery. There's no compassion. There's nothing. He says the most awful things about others around him. He's hateful in his rhetoric a lot of times. I can't stand it. I just really, this sort of hypocrisy type of, prosperity Christianity, it's never sat well with me. It just doesn't. I find it really, unappealing, and Tim is on board with like Joel Osteen, that type of. I can't stand that. I'm just going to be honest. I find those people to be absolute shady charlatans who purport to be Christians because I don't see them ever doing any actual good work and selling your garbage books, preaching about prosperity, this and that, and you can pray cancer away is not something that I feel is very beneficial. What
they're finding is they're just living the life that they like, that God gave them. It's not even what they planned. They may have dreams, they may have started something, and I know people will disagree with that, but still God put it in your heart. If it was to own your own business and you say, I built my business, I don't believe in all that. I did it. I got my education. I did this. I did. I. Well, guess what? That can all be taken from you. And you really should have a little more gratitude and appreciation that there is a God and that he gave that to you. You're just a manager. He owns it. He owns it all. And this is the revelation that I've been experiencing in my life lately. Always have, but I'm talking epiphany level. And so I'm trying to give honor and respect and revere.
Sorry, I did. The dogs ran out of water. These two, it's like taking care of children over here. So I apologize. Now they're play fighting because it's the cycle of life in this house, as you know. And I wanted to catch this gifted 5 memberships. Thomas, thank you so much. Let me see who got that. And I wanted to address that just terrible hypocrisy that Tim just had. Who did we get getting these? Let me see who we got. Oh, Ridge Runner! Yay! Nessa Sita. I hope I said that right. Mike is misguided. Pizza Kitty. These names are always awesome. Not your average old lady. Thank you so much. I tell you, the handles of some of these names are awesome. Thank you, Thomas. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. Cheers. Absolutely. We love growing the community, and I am planning to catch up with you guys this week. But so we know I've been busy. Also, I'm trying to get my taxes finished. I got to get that done. Yes, that's my dogs in the background. It's
God and say, now, what are you trying to tell me? What is the next step? Instead of me putting one foot in front of the other, like I've done most of my life, and asking God to bless it, I'm not one to even take a step unless I feel something, some kind of direction and guidance.
Oh my gosh. Really, Tim? Okay, keep going.
Maybe that's not even the right way to do it. I don't know, but I'm praying about
garbage he's had in a long time.
And it's really exciting because, like I said a few minutes ago, some people say, Baker, you really got the life. Well, it's for everybody. You know, the life of having someone that's...
Baker, you have the life. I just cannot. The day that YouTube had this video go viral and he managed to get into that algorithm and we all clicked and looked, oh my gosh, we have a lot to answer for. All of us. Oh my gosh. But, you know, after he just... And the dirty delete of the EIDL video, the fact that this man showed up one time completely stalkers in a refrigerator and people needed to let him know that was not appropriate content to have on his channel. And he had to have people say, hey, you know, you're showing everything in a refrigerator on your channel, sir. And he still left that video up. It took a while for him to finally get it down. Then he turns around and strikes Darling's channel for showing that clip for sexual content, because we know what sort of shenanigans our good friend Tim had been up to in the past in trying to get other channels taken away. So it's just fascinating. His whole story is fast, and he's just so arrogant. I think he just thinks if he just puts out new videos like this and he talks this absolute and just wild trash talk that's not even anything about remotely to who this person is, he'll just gain a new group of suckers to watch his garbage. And now it's, you know, who's he going to suck in with his fake Christian stuff? Because he's not, we know this man's no Christian.
Controlling it, and you're just the along for the ride, and you're the manager, you're the good steward, not the owner, and you can cast all your burdens and cares upon the owner. It's like renting, right? You don't have to fix anything. Something breaks down, you just call the owner. Now, why be an owner? Yeah,
they are perfect play partners, and they've had a good day because we went out and, like I said, they got to free run the trails by my house. And I mean, these are fun trails for an hour. They were exhausted when we got back, and then they slept, and obviously they got up and ate, and then they get their treats. That's why I keep disappearing. And now they've just played, and now they're chewing on some treats that you guys have kindly, because it's really all the extra things because they just destroy stuff. That's why I work hard on the channel, and there's no shame. I'm allowed to have a side hustle just like Tim. I hope the difference is I'm somebody who tries to be authentically who I am and come with receipts about Tim. I've shown, you can take a look at the videos if you're new to the channel, countless videos of his EIDL paperwork and some of the things that Tim does that are not honest. And he's not honest. He's not an honest player with his channel. He can't even openly discuss what's coming up next month. I can't because I need to gag myself now because it's getting close to the date. But
we don't own anything anyway. Let me get away from that car wash. Get a little noisy that way. So
yeah, you can.
I think that the rest of my days, God willing, that I live to be a ripe old age, and I don't get hit by a bus or something. I really believe that I'm going to, the best is yet to come. And I have no.
Oh yeah, he's definitely said some things aimed at me. I mean, I have a video where he specifically said he wanted last year to come to Virginia Beach, and it was really creepy. So, and he said he's never been to Virginia, and this is before obviously what's going on. So yeah, there's been some. He's been an interesting character. Certainly not following a Christian doctrine.
No idea what it is. If I did try to think about what it could be, I guarantee I'd be wrong. You would be too. Because the best plan, the very best plan that you can think of or what you think would make you the happiest, God says, not even close. I got something so much better for you. And then when you get it, you're like, wow, I never even imagined. I couldn't even, think of that. Only he knows. And that's when you recognize that it is from him. So my life hasn't revolutionized lately of anything much different. I mean, I'm definitely blessed. Changed vehicles, got a great place to live. And
I'm going to have to go. I think maybe in the members only, we'll take a look at that RV video just to do something different. Because we got to take a look at what this lady says about the micro lights, specifically the one Tim was in. Because it's a short video too. But now I hear he's in a Walmart haul, so we got to take a look at that.
YouTube is good to me. They send me a few things. My overhead's low. I have no debt. I'm not broke. I'm relatively healthy and building on it. I'm not a house. I don't have a lot of overweight. I'm not in my ideal weight. I'm not a lot of what I think I would want in vanity, but I'm really good at what I do have. Things I own, my health, my attitude, my beliefs, my looks, my energy. I mean, I'm right. If I think about it, even though my rotator cuff hurts. And
what? Who is this person that he's describing? We know he owes still on his teeth. We know that he has still to pay on the EIDL. That's not been paid off. I don't understand the level of I just feel like that's a level of braggadociousness that is potentially just to grandiosity. It's very grandiose. It's just it looks. I know. I know the hubris is astounding. Yes, it's just mind. If I came out and I know people already say, because I make commentary, but I'm just the best looking woman in Virginia Beach. I mean, I couldn't even say it with a straight face. I just could not. I just don't get it.
A few other things.
God,
Eyesight.
it's wild.
Got my issues, right? But I'm like one of those good old classic cars in excellent shape. Good, been well taken care of. And I didn't take care of myself all my life. And yet, here I am. And so I don't believe in all that medicine stuff that's going to cure you. I think right here cures you. And
great. We just love those people coming into the emergency room in a cardiac event. It's always, I'm thinking up here, and I don't know what those chest pains are. Oh my goodness. This is where Tim is dangerous in my estimation. And especially as a healthcare provider, having this guy try to tell his audience that they don't need to go to see anybody. I mean, do I believe in deprescribing as people get older? Absolutely. Because there are some drugs as we age could actually cause us potentially more harm from getting lightheaded or falling. And so I think that the conversations around deprescribing are really important as we age. But Tim's not at that age. And Tim is not somebody who should be giving any advice around medical things, especially with the condition of his eyes. That already, he's no business.
Exercise, diet, and thinking. And so if you want to improve your life, you don't need to complicate it. It's really pretty simple.
Right.
Mainly it starts with how you think.
And he has his care credit. I don't think he's paid off for his teeth. He had all those crowns put in, and he had a lot of money for those crowns. I don't think he's paid off that care credit. In fact, he spoke about it recently. On occasion, he'll say he has care credit. And then the next, 2 videos later, he'll say, I'm debt free and my life is the best in the world. I'm thinking his insurance in Florida for all his toys must be expensive. It has to be. Oh yeah, he lies all the time. It's just amazing. He's still giving out. He's still giving out advice, Sammy. Despite all of this, still gives out advice, constant advice. No preface about seeing your doctor. No trigger warnings. No anything.
A man is how he thinks, the Bible teaches. And if you think on things, it tells you to think on things that are noble, good, lovely, kind, positive, all these things. That's not the exact words the Bible uses, but they list about 6 things. And if there be any virtue in that, think on these things, not on negativity.
Now, did they do the hospital infusion because it's covered easier by Medicare? Because when I used to have my patients with my hematology oncology, doing hematology, and we would have patients and they would have low iron. If it was super low, we would always have to get these like infusions at the hospital, which is not, I think you can do it a lot easier, but we'd always send people for a hospital infusion. I hope you feel okay from that. Sorry you had to go through that. Hope it gave you some pep in your step, though. Hope you feel better. Oh, you're out, Tar Heels? Pull the chicken and shrimp off the barbecue. Well, you enjoy that. I had shrimp today. I had shrimp and grits, actually. Being from the South, man, shrimp and grits, that's where it's at.
This is the biggest thing that'll bring you down in life. Your looks, your weight, your attitude, your friendship, where you're going to go if you met the Lord today. Your health will bring you down. Stressing, gossiping, worrying, overeating, taking pills you don't need, talking to people, watching things, listening to things. You say, but look how we've evolved from how, if you're my age, think about what we saw, absorbed, thought about how we ate, the kind of food there was. We had good homemade food.
Yes, I used to have to set up a lot of infusions for people. And because of the insurance was, Medicare required me to get it in a hospital for patients. So I used to do a lot of those. I'm glad you feel better. Yeah, that's glad that you were getting your labs checked because you'll feel tired with low iron. It's important. Got to carry that blood around.
Growing up, there wasn't all this box stuff. We didn't even have a microwave. I remember when they came out. So we have evolved into a quick, gotta have it now, scrolling. How many likes do I have? What's the...
Here we come. Somebody's going to help show YouTube. I have great engagement. Thank you. I appreciate that. It actually helps for advertisers too. And for brand deals. All sorts of stuff. So thank you. Appreciate that.
What's the latest? Got to meet everybody's expectations. And money. Got to have that money. Money is the root of all kinds of evil. The love of it. The love of it specifically is what the Bible says. Not the money, the love of it. Worshiping it. My truck could be the root of evil if I worshiped it. My RV.
Well, they are the root of your evils, Tim, because you were willing to take on debt. And once you had that money from YouTube, you should have paid it back. Shouldn't still be having it as a loan, but you just hope you're going to die before it's all paid off. You have no cares, Tim. You're just so bad. Just his, and he doesn't like anybody criticizing him because he doesn't want his little world interrupted. That's why he's been so mean.
A person, a job, anything that you love, that you worship above God.
Not for a rich runner.
He's a very jealous God. He doesn't like that. And he'll get your attention, believe me. But when you seek him first,
keep an eye, David.
He promises all these things shall come to you. All the things what? All the things that he knows that you want or should have. Not what you want. So.
I know. Poor David still thinks rich runners. We don't know. We don't know. I'd be surprised at Tim's level of narcissism he could say anything that terrible about himself. But we never know, do we, David?
Yeah, I'm a Jesus freak again.
Oh, no.
I've been one 2 or 3 times in my life. Then you mellow out. Things are going along.
Anything
that you try to put in your life that isn't good, you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to reap what you're thinking about. You're going to reap what you're doing. Everything is seen by God. You can't hide anything from him. You can hide it from me and others, but you don't hide it from him. He's going to chastise you. He's going to bring you to your knees. He's going out of love, just like you would if you saw your child or found out your child was doing something that you totally, that isn't the way I raised you. You know, you're listening to somebody at school that's doing that or taking that or saying that or watching that. No, not in this house. Not while you're under my roof.
Yes, how dare you? You know, go up against Sarasota Tim. He's just, you know, he's this man in a parking lot in a press shirt.
And you correct. And this is what your Heavenly Father does. And hopefully you get a good straight and narrow going with a few hiccups. You walk through a couple of valleys in your life, but you know, you're going to, by the most part, be on the straight and narrow. It's the lost ones out there. They're just winging it that are in our world right now. That just seem like they don't even have a clue. You know, how were you raised? Where do you come from? What's your deal? But if you got
the rest of us aren't raised right. Just Tim. Tim was the only one raised right. That's why he impregnated his neighbor who had kids at 16 and ran away from home because he was raised so much better. I mean, get the out of here. Okay? Promise you, I wasn't doing that sort of stuff because I knew that was what, you know, kids who didn't do well did. So out of here, Tim, on that. I mean, seriously, how dare you? How dare you?
Halfway of a clue. And that means you got to believe in God. Then my opinion is you got 99% of life in your back pocket. Because when you turn everything over to him and start living your life, doing all the simplest things, they're not that difficult to figure out.
You know, unfortunately, Tim has a nice daughter who seems to have, you know, allowed him to be a dud of a dad. You know, they're not much an age difference. And so he, you know, I had a teenage parent. I can tell you it's not great. Unfortunately, her mother was slightly older, so maybe her mother did a slightly better job getting her away from Tim and raising her. But Tim is just the fact that he has the audacity to criticize anybody else. None of us are perfect. Certainly not Tim.
It really isn't. It's not a tough thing. You know right from wrong. He gives you a conscience, and just do it and ask to help you with the direction of what you're doing. So that's going to be the end of my video. I made this video just winging it, just talking from the heart. I don't know if it made any sense. I don't know if it is anything that you're interested in or if it helped anybody. Let me know in the comments. But if you're in a relationship or if you're solo like me,
just living my best life. Are you really, Tim?
And you don't have a lot of, I don't know, support and direction, or what you do have really isn't getting it, you know, because they don't really have your best interest, or they're busy with their own lives.
Another dig at Tammy.
Or their lives are so screwed up, they're going to help screw yours up. I wouldn't take advice from somebody that doesn't have their act together.
Well, Tim, that's perfect. Because that means we don't have to take any of your advice then. Because I would have put you as somebody who'd look like in 67 years old, you didn't have your act together, sir. And how I know we are a tough bunch, us older folks. We got a high standard of you know, showing your adulthood. At least when you doxed me, Tim, and doxed out like my home address and my, you know, equity, you just proved to everybody that I do actually own my property. So I'm not lying, sitting here in a condo that doesn't actually belong to me. I don't lie. I don't need to lie. I'm honest about, obviously, my channel being monetized, that my money goes to help me with the dogs. The dogs are expensive to keep. I like to rescue dogs. That's why I got channel, because I wanted to do stuff. Yes, I am a registered nurse. I just work, 80 hours a week? I've done that before. I mean, at least I come with receipts of honesty. At least I've, you know, If I ever get to 10,000 subscribers, I can't wait to be able to do fundraisers through the platform and people feel that it's going that way, rather than, the way I had to do it. You did nothing. What charitable? You've been paying it for. Oh, God.
It does have his act together.
I'm going to go.
Always has. It knows it all. And if you really have any questions in your mind about how do you get through this life? How do you retire? Where do you live? How do you do it? How are you going to make it in the inflation? What are you going to drive? How are you going to eat? What's it going to be? You got so many things they're throwing at you to make you like, oh, I'm never going to stop working. I'm never going to make enough money. I don't have enough money. I got all this debt. I got this. I got that. I don't have this. I don't have that. Those are what fools chase after. That's what people that don't understand what it is about seeking him first. And then all these things shall come to you. That's just someone that's.
I mean, when did this be the message of his channel? I mean, we know he did the Crushing It for Christ. He wants to, get the Christians sending him money. I guess, God, I can't imagine this is going to help his channel out.
Temporarily lost. So I'm here to tell you. The answer is simple. Surrender. Ask God to help you. Talk to him just like we're talking right here. You don't need any fancy prayers. You don't need anything.
I hope you've had a conversation with other people too, Tim. I don't know if this is going to be the thing that's going to help. That's all I'm going to say.
Except a contrite heart, a real desire for help and to take away anxiety, loneliness, financial burden, your health issues, anything and everything. Like Nike says, just do it. Or like Sarasota Tim says, just crush it.
I think that's magical Christian thinking. I think that's not going to be something, I mean, gosh, I don't even think my pastor would say to be that delulu about using religion for all that stuff. That's oh my gosh, that's wild. All right, somebody says he's got a Walmart haul. Let's see. I don't see the Walmart haul. That's got to be an old video because I'm not getting that coming up at all. So I don't see the Walmart haul that he just did. Somebody said he did a Walmart haul. I don't see it. Did he do a Walmart haul? I don't see a Walmart haul. He speaks of financial concerns and loneliness. Bingo. Yeah, he just has these Kakina Beach ones. I don't know how interesting they are. I'm about to say, how long we've been live? An hour and a half? Let's say. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe we have time for a couple of more little videos then. Getting 1,000 steps. Look at this. Out in the shirt in the beach. And then we've got here again. All right. Let's just figure out what's going on. All right, Tim. What do you got? I thought he would have had a lot more videos today, actually.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Coming to you.
Maybe he has it as a short. Hold on. Maybe it's a short. Oh, here it is. When was this?
Hey.
Hold on, Tim. What date was this?
Hey, how's it going?
Uh-oh. Why is it so big like that? Hold on. Hold on. Is this today? Another Walmart haul? Everything up 30%? Oh, he's got 1.6 thousand views. Is this it?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. Another Walmart haul. $150. I've been in here like every day. $150. How's it going? He thinks he's photobombing me, but I'm looking at myself. Anyway, look at this. Yeah, you see more clothes. I got 2 wardrobes, not one. I went poor on steaks. Look, let me show you. There's a, wherever they're at in here. I got them yellow labels on the New York strips and stuff. So I just bought every one they had. I just went broke on meat. But I loaded up. They're in there. Here they are. I'll show you. I'm gonna get run over here by this car. Yeah, I got pork chops, brats.
Oh my gosh. Tim just out getting clothes and spending money. I mean, why would his subscribers obviously need to even do his affiliate links? I mean, I got an $800 dog surgery coming up. So I appreciate for all the likes and just any support in that respect. Because let me get over to my EDA. Says, yeah, make sure to hit the likes, guys. It helps me out enormously. So I appreciate it. Help people find the videos after the replays. All right, Tim, keep going with your telling us how much money you're spending.
You've seen them. You've seen meat before. Anyway, yeah, $150. I was talking to Westine in there, my cashier, and she says, yeah, everything's gone up like 30%. So really, when I used to come to Walmart, I would spend $50. Now I'm buying a little bit more now. I bought some clothes and I bought 2 or 3 more steaks than I normally would buy. But I'm gonna tell you, 30%. That means what's 30? What's 70% of 150?
Oh, so you think, Dennis, that he's spending for his Social Security, that he got some money and he's shopping for, I guess he's not leaving town for Easter if he's getting all that food in his camper. Unless he's traveling with the fridge going. I mean, is it on a backup power? I don't know enough about RVs.
7 times 15, who can add? It's like 30% more. It's a lot more. That's a significant difference. I mean, 10% more is a bite. 30%, we're talking.
Somebody actually thinks this is a fair use case. Oh my goodness. How YouTube Kool-Aid are you? Wow.
We're talking poorhouse, baby. But that's all right. We're still crushing it. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
I love the trolls.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy
They're
Sunday.
back in church.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota.
So Tim is out buying clothes again. Not that he doesn't shop persistently. Maybe he'll wear them and then return them. All right. Getting 1,000 steps. I don't know which is the one. I love all the trolls. All right. Keep going, Tim. We're at a 1.5. Well, you know, everything that we do on this channel, sir, we do it within fair use. So I don't worry about court. So thank you. And
hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim, coming to you from beautiful Bradenton Beach again this morning. We're going to take a walk. I'm going to take my shoes off. We're actually going to walk down on the sand and get our feet in the water, test the waters out, and give you a little different view today before I try to get in all the steps I can, walking all the way down to the Longboat Bridge. Well, a lot of people are here. It's going to be 85 today.
Well, that's hard math. You got to work in 10s and 3s. That's a lot of math for Tim. Come on. Don't expect it. No pets allowed on Trail Beach or in Park. Oh, that's terrible. Virginia Beach is, you can take your dogs out. You just have to do it early in the day and at night, I think. But people in Virginia Beach have a lot of dogs and they got mad.
Warm already. I might be taking my shirt off, my shoes off camera, and getting some exercise out there. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you get the like button. All right. Shoes in hand, barefooted. Big entrance right here to Bradenton Beach. The water is absolutely looking beautifully smooth and clear. It's early. Yeah. It's 9:15.
Yes, I am making profit over Tim videos, just like anybody who does commentary on this platform. So, yeah, that's true. That's what fair use, education, informational purposes. Tim is a fraudster and somebody who gives out medical misinformation. So, yep, I get to call him out as commentary. That's how it works.
Let's get down here and do like these others. Walk the packed sand. Get you down to the water. I'm all mic'd up today. Naturally, there's not much wind, but there's a little breeze coming. So now you'll be able to hear me clearly. So you got it all raked here nice. The tractor comes in the morning and
we have
rakes
a lot
the beach
of dogs
for us.
at the beaches here in Tampa.
Got some shells here. Ooh, my feet are sensitive. When I was young, I used to never wear shoes. Let me just check this water here. See what we're looking at as the days warm up here.
Tim has got this whole like shorts, this press shirt, and the boater look going for some reason this summer. Just it's a character. It's a character. It's always him playing a character.
Folks,
he's gonna part. Yeah,
I'm not believing that lady's out there.
Part the water.
That feels pretty. Oh yeah, that is nowhere near what it gets to be in the summer. And over there in West Palm Beach, I'll guarantee on the East Coast, that water's a lot warmer than this because
I just think these cannot be the most popular beaches in Florida. We are in the middle of spring break and there is no kids there getting wild. So as much as Tim is trying to like, and they're beautiful beaches, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the action is elsewhere.
You have the Gulf Stream, but that's a little bit too chilly for this boy. No thanks. I don't mind sitting out here, but it'll be May before I'm out there. It's got to be above like 75. Once it gets below 70, it's way too cold. Even 75 is pretty chilly. Water temperatures get here 80, 90 degrees in the summer. Like bath water. It's not even refreshing. You don't want it too hot. And it will get there in July.
Happy Tim.
So let's walk in the sand that's a little softer.
I know. I hope he got a little yellow sweater from Walmart to put over his shoulders, because I feel like the sweater is missing. You know, if he wants to go full prep. Hey, I used to date a guy years ago who dressed like that.
That's going to be shells. And this is that pier that's closed for whatever reason. We're doing something to it. It's a little more arduous walking in this. Good for the calves. We'll walk down a little bit more and I'll find a shower and rinse my feet off so I can get my steps in and get back over on the path. More out already. Couple of boats going by. You can see all the stuff on the bottom of the ocean there, of the Gulf.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Wow. 30 10-hour shifts left until retirement. 50 plus years of working. Congratulations. Wow. I would be almost wanting to mark that down on the calendar. Congratulations. Thank you for your service to so many people throughout the years. That's amazing. It's something that's so cool. I'm still like years away. So I'm like 30 years now. I'm not, I wish I were that young. Wow. Awesome. Yes. Congratulations. That's really cool. Tim would never be able to say that with pride. He would call that a prison job. You know, congratulations. You really, I hope they're going to give you a decent send off. I hope they're going to do something, because it's terrible nowadays. I hope it's not a pizza party.
You guys can hear the waves or not?
Not a pizza party.
Very soothing.
I know.
When I left here yesterday,
Tim has a good attorney.
Someone was asking me in comments, I'm showing these roof.
Tim doesn't have an attorney. I saw his motion to dismiss, and he would have to try to find a attorney in Virginia Beach that doesn't know me. So good luck with that.
Top places, and they were saying, well, where are all the people? Well, I can tell you right now, when I left here yesterday, the traffic coming across the bridge was a couple of miles back, so they're definitely coming in for sure.
Listen to this person. This person is wild. Absolutely wild. I'm sure he's an awesome attorney. I'm sure he did a 5-star Google review. If it's the same attorney who wrote his motion to dismiss, I'm not concerned. Jesus. Can you imagine being the person? Can you imagine being this person that supports Sarasota Tim? Can you imagine what basement they're dwelling themselves out of? Maybe it's one of Tim's neighbors at the RV park. It's his grandkid. Best attorneys. He can't have the best attorney in town because they are the ones who represented me. That's gonna be Stuart, one of those DoorDash delivery guys that pal around with Carl.
Most people walk the path out there. This is tough walking in this. I'm gonna get back out there on the path. Morning.
New York Dan was gonna get himself shot by Tim the other day. That's hilarious. I love that though, because it's good engagement. That's all that YouTube.
Pretty easy right here on this compacto.
It's probably cool.
Yeah, you want to come here? You hit it early, and you own it. But it's truly better than West Palm Beach in this respect. You have to drive up and down for like a few miles or even more to find yourself a public parking lot. Then you got to pay just to get out to get down on this beach. Where here, you just have so much area, free parking. You can just pull over.
I just find trolls funny because Tim couldn't retain the best attorneys in town because I already had retained them. And the other attorneys firms, I've called them in the past to find out about taking on my case in last year. So Tim's ability to actually find an attorney in Virginia Beach is pretty tough. And other ones might have personal conflicts with me, from just knowing me. But that's not so bad. But a lot of them, I've personally contacted. So this is funny to hear.
And hit the beach. I remember when I lived in, what part of San Diego was it? In Encinitas and the neighboring two towns. There were so many beautiful places to pull over on the side of the road, free of charge. Bluffs, you walk down or somewhere level with the beach. You just go to the beach anywhere you wanted.
Yeah.
It wasn't blocked by high rises. Everybody that bought the property up, like in West Palm. Here's the fishing pier again. The guys are out there.
Oh, really? Oh, you're so sad. Look at this person. They're so angry. They're so angry. Listen to how angry this person is. They probably don't like women. It's probably a guy who's about 55, 60, door dashes for a living, and, has a struggle because women don't like him. So he doesn't like women back. So he's a little bit hateful and misogynistic. That's just a guess. Or it's Tim's grandkid, but I doubt they'd want to defend him that much.
Someone said in comments that the pompano are running. Pompano is a pretty good eating fish. And if you use what they call a pompano rig, it's a rig you put on your fishing pole. And it has multiple hooks.
That's a really good point. That the third or fourth time this week that he's said the area is better than Palm Beach, he's really angry about Tammy getting a condo. Absolutely. Because he's not been invited to share it with her, and he's still on the Gulf side having to take care of his Fred and Rafaela. Tim, what is this? Okay. You obviously have no idea what's going on. For over $20,000 in court fees plus profits, Tim is ready with his best attorney to get paid. This guy is off his tree. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sammy. It's funny, but then they're just irritating.
Because you can catch multiple pompano at one time. When they are running, they are biting. I don't see any tight lines out there, but because you got to throw in a cast net. It's going to wrap up the beach walk. I'm going to get these shoes on. I'll have to walk just up here to Coquina. They'll have showers and I can rinse my feet off. And put the shoes back on. These are my new imitation Sperry's from Walmart.
Oh.
I said I would never buy shoes at Walmart.
I feel so intimidated because, that's what people do when they have top attorneys is spam in a chat from somebody called Psychopath Tater. Yeah, that's somebody who's really on the know as to what's happening. What a joke. Go walk some exercise. You're probably like, 2 hot dogs from diabetes, type 2. If you're not already type 2 diabetics, Stewie.
Well, you can't believe the damn thing I say. I bought 4 pair there recently.
Nobody even thinks like.
And I think the total was less than what 1 pair cost at Dick's. I put some Dr. Scholl.
Sadly, the people that actually don't wear jealousy well aren't Tim. Tim isn't wanting to talk about haters or get into anything because he knows what's happening. I'm not going to say anything else. The other group of people are just the little trolls that channels are not making any traction unless they talk about me. And that's fine because I'll take all the, whatever. But yeah, you'll find yourself banned out the chat very soon. Because you're just boring after a while.
Or some kind of thing inside there, make them more comfortable. Really makes a difference.
Don't be jealous because your channels are failing and everyone knows you guys lie and that you're weird and creepy. Weird and creepy is not what YouTube likes in its algorithm. Let's promise you that.
It's kind of like you don't need to waste a lot of money on a mattress. You can buy almost any mattress or whatever they give you when you buy an RV. They're usually among the worst mattresses. And then you just put a memory foam on top, but don't get cheap.
Hey, we got
at least 4 inch, because that really means 3. They're always less than they say.
Thank you, Sammy. Yeah, I just take it for the to give them their chance to embarrass themselves. But yeah, it gets irritating for the chat. Yeah, because they really think they have like people care, and people don't. They just don't. I have had, I just heard that Carl doxed his wife's phone number on his live that he's doing now and managed to show her breasts, the full booby picture. So Carl just winning as always.
Yeah, toughen my feet up. And then you've greatly improved your mattress. Now, if I were to walk on this here paved path for any great distance, this could actually rub the skin off my feet because they're so tender. But it would be nice to toughen them up a little bit at a time, like breaking in shoes.
Oh my gosh, Tim wants to get warts. I wouldn't suggest walking around in barefoot. That's how I've heard that warts transfer up your feet. I don't know if that's a wives' tale. A medicinal wives' tale too. But I wouldn't do it. Why would you do that? Why would you need to do that? That's why you got flip-flops, Why you want to muss up? Just the why. We out here grounding? What the heck? I cannot with this person. Just like you're going to mess up your feet for no reason.
Just walk a little ways and put my shoes on. Brush the sand off. I think I won't even need a shower now. I'll wash my feet. I think I can brush them with my hand and put these babies back on and get those steps in. This is really nicer than Nathan Benderson in many ways.
Oh, yeah.
There's more stuff to look at.
Oh, those individuals have totally gone off the deep end. I got one video I have to do, and that's it. That shows like just the level of hypocrisy. But yeah, I find it's boring. It's and then New York Dan, I don't know, did he really get up to Bradenton again and stalk Tim? I mean, that's just some strange stuff, My situation is completely different. I'm not trying to, there's no lies around here.
You got the lake there, but it's nice to look at the Gulf.
Yeah, Carl is
noisy, all the cars going by. And the first bench I see up here, I'll sit down and brush my feet.
Yes. And we know that as healthcare providers, is that if we do not have transparency in how we interact with others, then we can't have authenticity with who we are working with. We have to be transparent with our patients too. And so all of it is important. And as much as people want to criticize me, or I had, Kentucky Todd wanted to remind me that, I'm just, training to be a nurse educator, which obviously once I get through all this, I can hopefully plan to go back to school because I just need to finish my clinicals. And so it's a lot. And then obviously all of this stuff. So I'm just trying to, cope with one thing at a time. And, but yes, being transparent is important. And these, why are you criticizing my professionalism? Why is that such a terrible, thing to have? It's amazing to me, just the level of misogyny that those men specifically carry. I mean, they're all sitting in their cars acting like experts. And I just hope in 2026 we just kind of get tired of that niche of content, because I haven't figured out what they add of value. They just trolling. And if they think it's fun, that's fine. But I find it boring.
Shoes back on.
I hate the lies. The lies are really fun.
85 beautiful degrees today. Yesterday, when it really warmed up, it felt like 90. It was definitely warm. Let's turn the camera around and I'll talk to you for another minute, and then we'll end the video, okay?
Oh, really? Okay, but what a mature thing to talk about. I mean, that's what it's. I don't actually watch them, because what for? They have just been on a tear ever since I called Carl out for being an absolute liar, and they didn't like it, and that's fine. They could. The views are terrible, and it's just wild. You don't claim those weirdos. It's Carl's content is worse than Tim's. Well, you like New York Dan at first, but not interested in his content anymore. I mean, even I used to keep, watch these guys a little bit. But then when they just, when Dan showed up at Teddy's and stuff and did all that stuff, that to me, I make commentary around Tim and obviously use his videos. I would not show up at his house, okay? My going, in April, nothing to do with, I hope he doesn't show up, It's like, it's nonsense. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of it's lies. I mean, Carl lied about having a 2-hour phone conversation with me. What a thing to lie about. Never given them this person in my entire life, my telephone number. I mean, just, I mean, I am almost like, I'm an older lady. I don't even date anymore. So to Jesus are they talking about? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And guess what? If I wanted to, I would.
All right. Stretch you out there a little bit. Here we go. I'm just coming into the shaded pine trees here at Coquina, where all the picnic tables and the barbecue grills. I mean, this is cool parking, like right here off the road. It's not even in the parking lot, which is just up here another 100 yards. This is the very first part of it as you leave Bradenton Beach.
I mean, those guys have gotten off the deep end as much as Tim. Well, Tim isn't wanting to go off the deep end anymore. These guys are off on the deep end, but, I'm not paid to give them therapeutic counsel.
You can just shoot right in here. Grab you a picnic table and grill. I need to do that one day. I mean, seriously, it's so inviting looking. There's garbage cans right here. Your car with your cooler and all that can be right there for you. Everything you need.
Why is he pointing out garbage cans? Is that where you dump your trash illegally, Tim?
Little shade. Oh, another thing I saw. I've got 2 of them.
Combat boots. Yeah.
I saw a girl the other day. There's all these trees here. There's so many places. Like right here, you can hang a hammock. I've got 2 of them. That would be cool. I thought about that the other day. I think I've got one in my truck actually. Can't put it there though. Look, you're kind of blocking. Well, they can go around. It's one of the paths. Look at that scenery right there. A little hole there. Look at that water. Isn't that beautiful? All this is free if you live here. People go on cruises and go down to Caribbean.
I actually heard that Norfolk, Virginia is one of the best little ports to go out from a cruise on. I hope one day I get a chance to do that. I gotta find somebody to take care of 2 pit bulls. I would love to try that. I've never been on a cruise in my life. Maybe one day.
Same thing. A little different. But close enough. Yeah, the path's not too bad on my feet.
Well, for some reason, he hangs out with Carl. And so I have my suspicions. And my friend's dad was an airline pilot, and he was a notorious womanizer and drunk. I can say stuff about anybody, too.
I'm walking right along here. But as soon as I see a bench, that's enough breaking in my feet today. I'll keep working on it. Speaking of working on it, I seen these guys yesterday. They filled in all the troughs but they had this all dug up.
Is that it depends on the cruise, I guess. I've just always been curious. My parents went on one that was like a really big one. I just curious. Just because I hear the one to the Bahamas or Bermuda or whatever here is pretty nice. So I would be curious. Though I do worry about the petri dish of a cruise liner, obviously, as a healthcare provider. But I've just been curious. Don't kill my dreams.
In pipes.
I need to update my passport,
twice, like, what are you going to build here? I'm going to assume
for introverts.
it only looks like it should be one thing. There's a restroom facility because all we have out here is these porta johns right over there. Oh, they service them every day. They even have handicap ones.
You went to river cruise in Europe?
Taking their time about it.
Sounds nice.
People are sitting out there facing this way because that's where the sun is.
I certainly wouldn't want to share a cruise with Tim.
So looking at the water. Beautiful.
This cruise on. Yes. Yes, I wouldn't want to go out for too long. That's why the one from like Norfolk, like, because it's right here where I'm at. So I wouldn't have to leave out of Florida and just take the little one that they have over to Bermuda, I think it is, and back. I'm just curious. It's probably never going to happen, guys. I always have dogs. I just heard that it's really nice to cruise out of Norfolk. It's like 20 minutes down the road from me. It's like, why do I never do these things? Because I'm just, because I do YouTube.
Picnic table right here.
I'm supposedly
get my shoes on. See all the people walking. Let's do that.
Doesn't he do trading of some type though? Aren't all these people like traders or something? I'm just a regular, good old fashioned nurse, I guess. And I have now my YouTube channel where I get to use my knowledge of nursing to hopefully just be a straight shooter. Obviously, it makes me a target for misogynists because I dare to talk about this winner, Sarasota Tim. And because I called these people out for being slobs, they're just going to be angry forever. But they look like slobs. They look very unhealthy and old.
You're right.
What do you mean too? River cruises are very expensive.
Right.
Okay.
Beautiful day, folks. Wish you were here. Crush it.
Oh no. Oh, Blind Views is up to stuff. All right. And is Jordan Peterson dying? I heard he has sepsis or something. So we know he spent a bunch of money. Oh, we got here. Just look, this is the same again. Look, we got 2 of these videos today. 2. And like I said, it's an empty beach, so it can't be the best beach in Florida. Because obviously if it was, why would it be so empty? They said their favorite spots, that's on a little island. I get Social Security. I graduated high school. Good combination of benefits. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Let's go 2 times the speed just to get it done, guys. Because I know that the trolls love for me to show Tim's content because they think this is why we're going to court and that he's got the best attorneys in town, which isn't possible because I already had them. They're like one of the best attorneys in the country. So it's not possible. Tim couldn't have them.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. Can you think of any better place to be than right here? I wouldn't mind being in Moab right now with my dual sport motorcycle, but boy, this is a beautiful place right here.
Oh, no, I was watching a very interesting channel from a journalist who calls out all these wellness grifters called Carney. So if you want to check it out, that's who I was watching. And it talks specifically about the sham of the carnivore diet and the stuff that Tim pretty much follows. A lot of it's just a grift. These people don't have answers for you. The doctors often are not even fully qualified to give certain amounts of information. I think Peterson was a philosopher. I don't even think he was anything medical.
With the water and the sand. It's like the opposite of what the desert is, obviously. Anyway, I'm at the inlet at Coquina Beach in Manatee County, Florida, Bradenton. And right across this bridge right here goes into Longboat Key. And about 5 miles further down is Lido Key and Lido Beach, St. Armand's Circle. And this area is really got a lot of fishermen along the shore, and especially when I was walking down this way, there's a lot of boats. And I believe that there is a bite on right now called pompano, a fish called pompano. And I believe they must be running. There must be some truth to it because I see a lot of people in boats that I normally don't see right off the beach fishing. And they get a lot of people on the boat so that they can, you know.
I find Peterson's case intriguing because he had been long-term using benzodiazepines, which is never something that should ever be prescribed long-term. They are short-term medications for anxiety. So the fact that he was long-term on these benzodiazepines makes me curious. And then they were saying he was having like really bad akathisia coming off. Well, yeah, you've been on benzos for like 4 years. You're going to have a tough time. So yeah, it's interesting. And now supposedly they're talking about that he, you know, potentially has, you know, sepsis and stuff. And of course his daughter gets upset when anybody talks about it. But supposedly for all these people having all this longevity and all of this generational medicine and all this stuff, they're not very healthy.
At the maximum, because you can catch 2 or 3 at a time when you get into these fish. Your line that you use, the rig you use, has 3 or 4 hooks on it. You don't just catch one at a time. I mean, it really bite. So here comes a little pontoon boat underneath the bridge. I've got about 3,500 steps in. I got another 3,500 to go back to where I started.
I got
my truck is parked,
time.
and no doubt I'll hit my 10,000 again today. Got 10,000 yesterday, and it feels really good to get at least 3, 5, 6, 7,000 steps in. And it's pretty easy to do. You can find yourself a nice area to walk where you enjoy the scenery and just move along at a pretty good pace. Kind of try to walk kind of fast. Don't just schlep around. And burn some calories, and then concentrate on your eating for the rest of the day. And it's always very helpful to walk after your meals. So as we get ready to turn around and head back down to our...
That sounds lovely. I have been I did get a chance once to have a really nice time on a yacht with a crew many years ago when I was in my previous life in Mexico. And somebody lent us a boat with a crew in Puerto Vallarta, and we got to stay there with my parents and my ex-husband and I for a number of days, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was right where The Night of the Iguana was filmed with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. We got to go right to that part of Puerto Vallarta. Very beautiful. But I've never been on a cruise, but I have had a boat with a crew. My most fancy experience in my life.
Beginning destination. Show you around here a little bit. I'll turn the camera around and zoom in for you so you can get a good view. All right, there's the bridge. Comes a boat underneath. Let's see who's on board.
No! Border Patrol's coming. Oh. Hold on.
They actually may just go right out here where this boat is now and turn around and just kind of peek their nose out for these tourists.
I feel bad for Border Patrol because they had to subscribe and wait for 5 minutes to put that. And so we know that Carl and his buddies are on full blast at the moment, guys, because I have it on good authority. That's what these guys do. So, and, you know, the need to do it is just itchy itch.
Yeah, the boats are coming in. Another pontoon boat. Pontoon boats are cool. Very stable platform. They don't look cool, but they're really fun to be on. You can walk around on them. Let's see if I'm right about this little tourist boat here. If they just turn around.
See, it doesn't even seem like there's a lot of tourists. We get a lot of dolphins in Virginia Beach. I tell you, you just walk along the boardwalk and you will see those dolphins. It's wild. It's amazing to see them, actually. It's my favorite thing to do. But this is not, I think everyone down in Myrtle Beach or somewhere, Tim, for the spring break.
He's aiming this way.
No, probably not.
Comes another one in.
I know.
Last time I saw one come out like that, they pretty much went to about there and turned around. Let's see if I'm right. Or it's such a beautiful day, they may just cruise along the shore. If there's any roughness at all, of course they turn around, but looks like he's going to do that.
Tuesday's a slow night for DoorDash.
Give them he's kind of stopped. He's checking up there. I'll edit this down to where you don't have to be bored out of your mind.
Oh gosh, that is just so bad.
Well, I was wrong. And why wouldn't he? It's just beautiful down the beach. It's calm, it's nice, it's clear. All right, so
I couldn't. He'd be trying to sell me something and probably a subscription to his channel.
that's enough of that.
It's
I
just
kinda like it
like
right here in this area.
doxing this old
You
man
got a little
walking
benches you can
along
sit
the
on. There's one
beach.
right here. There's one in the shade.
I feel so bad. All he could do was film that poor gentleman trying to get his way to the ocean front. It's like, Tim, why are you just doxing people out here like this?
And there's actually a couple of ladies sitting on a chair in the shade on the sand right there. Well, people come down the path. As you can see, this gentleman here, another one coming. And then if you go right down to just before you get to the bridge, it's a little roundabout. You just circle around
Oh,
and then walk back. And that's what I'm going to do here at Coquina Beach.
no. Night of the Iguana was Elizabeth Taylor. I don't think it was Ava Gardner. I think Night of the Iguana was Elizabeth Taylor. I swear it was Elizabeth Taylor, Timothy. I'm going to check that now. That's what they told us when we were there. Night of the Iguana. Now, maybe she was in the film, but I believe it was Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton.
Yeah, you've got the mall you can go to and walk when it gets really hot. You have here with the shade trees. You got Nathan Benison Park on a nice day if you want to do that, and other parts around the Sarasota County and Manatee County area. There's lots of places. I mean, it's Florida, right? Plenty of places to get outside and enjoy. Cray Park or Gray
You're right.
Park in Manatee County here. It's a big, huge park. You have a big trail, and they also have disc golf that you can play. But let me pause it.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. Timothy is correct. It's Ava Gardner. Thank you, Timothy. I always thought it was Elizabeth Taylor. Thank you for that correction. At least I got Richard Burton. I always thought it was Elizabeth Taylor. It's Ava Gardner. Thank you for correcting me on that one. Thank you. And Sue Lyon. Oh, that's interesting. She was the one who played Lolita. Thank you, Timothy. I'm glad you corrected me. I was like determined it was Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe Elizabeth Taylor was down in that area with Richard Burton at the time. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate the correction.
This here, got some music coming. A local just passed me on his bike. He got hair down to here, the ball cap on backwards, and he's got a big loud radio up in the basket.
Yeah,
of his
this
bicycle.
community
He's as
brings
dark
the
as
receipts.
leather,
Yeah.
no shoes, a real local. I see him here all the time. Right.
And like I said, I want to say that maybe she went down there with Richard Burton, but thank you for correcting me on Ava Gardner. I need to go watch that film again. But I've been to that part of Puerto Vallarta. There's like a certain part like out further away from like the sort of town area where there's like a little bay area where it was filmed through there. And the captain took us over that area. Thank you.
Riding up and down, just enjoying himself.
Determined.
And
I'm going to lost
you
on
fit in down
that.
there at the Keys. That's a proper setup for when you call it comp. That's what the locals are called down there. You got to have a bicycle with a basket in the front, long hair, and wear nothing but board shorts, no shirt, no shoes. Like the song, right? Yeah, Florida's.
Oh, the Irish Spring being like a deodorant soap and not the antibacterial. Well, that stuff just tears you up, regardless. I would never recommend like using those deodorant soaps. Those things dry you out. And that's not good for your skin. I'd stick to Dove. They lost their stuff over a soap conversation. That's awesome. I'm glad I can be so influential. That Irish Spring though, that will tear your skin up, man. Never recommend it.
Got a lot to offer. It's a place that I'm sure I'll die here. There's no reason to live anywhere else. I've lived in California, Arizona. I've lived in Georgia for many years, Alabama, and
oh my gosh, Tim Reaper dying in Florida. Okay, keep going, Tim.
North Carolina. And I made money. I enjoyed my life. I raised my family, and part of my family was raising me, and I have wonderful memories. But nothing beats the life of living here in South Florida. I tried Jacksonville one time, and while it was fine, I had a great deal up there, and this RV park I was in, and the people. I mean, it's basically Southern people because you think about it, you're just below Georgia and everywhere else, so it's a different flavor than you get down here. So I really like it. But
I'm sure there's people who've also come from other parts of the United States. Florida is a notoriously popular destination for retirement, Tim. I know it's getting a little bit more difficult because some of the insurance prices are making it less attractive to purchase property, but there was a lot of things around Florida that made it attractive for retirees. Other than the weather.
But it wasn't me. It's very cold up there. Rough weather comes through there. and the beach was 100 miles to get to it from where I live.
Family, I
and it
know.
looked differently too. I went over and made a few videos. St. Augustine's close by, and they
I know that it kills me every time he talks about raising his family. Darling does great videos pointing out the lies of the family raising. Raising means that you were, not present in their life, Tim, then you did a fantastic job.
like that. So it's got its pluses. And another big plus there is I-10, you just jump on and start going west. You're already at the top of the state. You don't have to drive all day just to get out of here. But, it's got its pros and cons of living down here in South Florida.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm always curious with stuff around the villages. Yeah, well, Tim, we know he won out there.
You are tucked way down here, but I love it. And as far as I'll get my radio guy coming here and shut this down. I can still hear him. He's 400 yards up there. I can still hear. He's got reggae music playing, which is cool. Better than that boombox rap crap. So he's giving the vibe out, the beach vibe. But it could have been a copyright. So.
Oh, Tim always loves to point out copyright on music. Well, Tim, copyright on music and me using your stuff over here under good old-fashioned fair use to make commentary is totally different, Tim, because I break up your videos persistently and throw in my comments, which is completely something that people do on YouTube. There's millions of channels. Well, maybe not millions, but there's thousands of channels that do commentary. This is not an unknown source of entertainment as much as this is entertaining. 2-speed watching Tim not get too it's not
I had to shut her down for a minute.
Tim.
So let me continue to get my steps in. I do feel like the sand that I got on my feet earlier, even though I wiped them really good, when I took my topsiders off and I put them back on, I have no socks on, I can feel a little bit of sanding and chafing going on. And I'm sure by the time I get back to my truck, I might be feeling it. So the next time I come, I'm certainly going to bring the proper footed tire for work.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I love the gossip from the Liz Taylor era. That Liz Taylor, Richard Burton, that was like the first, can you imagine if they had the sort of a social media nowadays with that scandal going on? Yeah, that was a wild love story. Yes, Eddie. Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, Liz Taylor was quite the man-eating siren in her time.
If you're going to put in 3, 4, 5 miles of walking, you definitely need to have walking shoes or running shoes. But I look good. So another beautiful day here, living the retirement life, I should say. Doing what I want to do. Going to bring out the KLX now and absolutely take a ride.
Tim thinking he's looking like the Rat Pack. I mean, he's out walking and doing steps. Why are you not dressed in athletic clothing? Why are you in a button-down shirt? I swear this is like a preacher look. That he is literally trying to look like a preacher.
And somebody was asking about Turtle Beach, Jeff Weird. Yeah, it's right down below Siesta Key Beach. And it's a very tranquil, very quiet little place there.
That stuff is so drying to the skin. I cannot imagine. I was calling it antibacterial, and there's an antibacterial version. I meant to be deodorant soap. Whatever it is, it's really harsh on the skin. And the antibacterial soap shouldn't be used long term. Those deodorant soaps too. Just get some nice Dove. Dove is good.
With about 300 parking spots you can go to. So maybe I'll ride down there and show it to you. We'll see.
Yes.
I'm sure Siesta Key Beach is just like super crowded right now with the spring breakers and everything because it's popularity, It gets busy enough here. And so does Lido and St. Armand's down there. I might even these shoes aren't the best.
I know. Liz Taylor with those violet eyes. I mean, she really was. And she was a stunning little. I love that film. International. Was it International Velvet? Oh, gosh. Was that the name of the film? When she played the little girl who rode the horse. I watched a lot of films like that growing up on the TV in England.
I was going to say, going down the road here to St. Armand's and walk the bridge at Ringling Bridge, get some more steps in, get my 10,000, baby. But I think I'm going to just head home now and jump on the bike and do something different today.
Oh, you're a
I've got a couple of things that were pressing me, done and behind me. I feel good about that. And now
I am glad that I'm getting confirmation with the physician that it is with the chemicals and not to use the Irish Spring soap, because supposedly I have been annihilated for having mentioned the fact that using those soaps is not the best thing for your skin barrier, and to stick to something nice and gentle like a Dove soap and, or an Aveeno or something just gentle. National Velvet. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, International Tatum O'Neill. Yes. God, I'm going to be talking bad news bears next. You met Debbie Reynolds? I did. She was demure. Oh, Tony Randall. I'm sure he was being wild. I actually saw Elizabeth Taylor in person in the 1970s. She had married the John Warner, who was the Virginia senator. And this was in the 1970s. And she came to Virginia Beach. She probably thought this was Virginia Beach in the 70s. So a very small, dumpy looking beach town. They've spent a lot of money fixing it up to kind of get rid of the divey beach look, which, we as locals kind of liked our divey beach city, but obviously investors and people with money don't necessarily. But she had married John Warner. And so we had the Neptune Festival, which happens every September and still happens to this day in the city of Virginia Beach. And she came along as guest along with Senator John Warner to this thing. And I remember we got to see her, and my grandmother, everybody in town was just, to have like a Hollywood person be in the city of Virginia Beach in the 1970s, when it was still, like I said, a dirt town. We felt like we had been hit by royalty that day. It was an exciting moment here in the city of Virginia Beach. But I can't say I spoke to her. I just saw her in person.
Just waiting, of course, for the my trailer buddy to fabricate the hitch for me and the lights to arrive tomorrow from Amazon. And then we're getting closer. We're inching closer to crushing it.
No, you're not.
Hey,
I think that was the last of his videos today, guys. I think that was the last of our Tim videos, as we know him to be. You're not going to make him small. Oh, my goodness, guys. I just wanted to catch up. Very famous in the 70s. Yes. Ice Spring will dry your skin tighter than a drum. Absolutely. That's why his tin skin looks so even drier lately. And I don't think he's using that moisturizer. And the fact that he went out and didn't have any sunscreen on his chest, and the way he just, I doubt he has any. Barbara Eden. I remember Barbara Eden too. Wasn't she the I Dream of Jeannie lady? I used to be very good with, like, despite me being obviously like a Gen Xer, I used to be very good with film knowledge. I watched a lot of these older black and white movies at the weekends because that's all they would have on TV in the UK. So most of my film knowledge is like, and I still really love watching the really good classic movies. Like, I still to this day, like, if I ever get enough time, I still like to sit through some Gone with the Wind and all this stuff. I love a good, there was one recently I saw that had Vincent Price in it. Oh my God, it was so good. It was this, he plays this guy who's like lives in this. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. And he was a drug addict. And it was wild. It was wild. Rockefeller's wife. It's a guy bigger than Dallas. His wife is bigger than Dallas. His wife. He needs a man brawl. Gosh, The Way You Were. Oh yeah. The Way We Were, that is a good film. I think if you get YouTube Premium, they often have these films. I just watched, talking about Barbara Streisand, I just watched What's Up, Doc? I used to love that film from the 1970s. That's like a really goofball comedy. So dumb. But I thought with Ryan, what's his name? The one she was, oh gosh, the one that married Farrah Fawcett. Ryan, what's his name? Ryan O'Neal. Jesus, right. That's a funny film. Barbara Streisand, you like that? You love that Barbara Streisand movie. I know. Oh, we could just have a night we talk about old movies, guys. I know her voice was flawless. I know. And I still find it funny they talk about the Barbara Streisand and Tatum's dad. Yes, he's a character too. My goodness, the stories around Ryan O'Neal are wild. You like those? I know. The Barbra Streisand movies were great. The Way We Were was a great film. I have to say. I know I just watched, what was it? Love Story again recently with old Ryan O'Neal again, and you know the film. You know Love Story. Everyone knows Love Story. That was a good film too. They just don't make films like that anymore. I don't know. I don't like all the new superhero films. I'm not into all that. I don't know enough about like the Marvel characters. And I was a big fan of Star Wars for the longest time because I saw Star Wars at the movies as a kid. And then it just went into some odd direction. I had no idea. The Way We Were was Ali McGraw. Yes, Ali McGraw. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Let's recommend Lava Soap for Tim. I have had a really good one I would just say to Tim, just use some Dove sensitive, unscented. Just use some Dove. I mean, that would be good enough for Tim to be a little bit more moisturizing for the skin. Dove is very good. I can't say enough about it. You loved Ali McGraw? Yeah. I mean, that's the one that we use at the hospitals is like Dove sensitive and stuff. I mean, the ones that we would recommend is like Dove sensitive for sensitive skin and things like Aquaphor. I mean, and Vanny cream. I mean, nothing with too much scent or stuff. But Dove's for sensitive skin is a very good soap. I mean, even it's a very good. You're good with that. Yeah, it does look bad. He does. He really does. He does. Yeah, hit the likes, guys. All right, let's finish out this poll. I want to thank everybody for all their generosity, for Thomas helping grow this community, for Sammy's generosity, for all your generous time, for all the trolls for helping me get engagement. In the poll had actually got to 147 votes on the poll. So thank you for that, guys. Is Sarasota Tim going to have leave Bradenton for Easter to travel? No way. Not with $4.29 a gallon gas, say 82%. Maybe it's going to happen later on, 14%. Especially Tim can afford the gas and very expensive attorneys. And then last at 4%. Yes, it's an Easter travel hunt. So I think the no won. Even though Tim's lights are coming, he bought $150 worth of meat and clothes. The idea that he may travel to Easter anywhere to see his family is 0 to none, per the opinion of this community. And I just want to thank you guys for taking so much time with me. I hope everyone had a wonderful day. It is starting to get beautiful. Happy early April Fools for those out there who are celebrating. Don't try to fool me with more trolls, please. I don't want to be fooled with more trolls. The Getaway. Oh, that is a good film too. Gosh, we're all inspired. If you're not inspired to go and watch a good old film tonight on your YouTube, if you have YouTube Premium, then I don't know what more can. They have some really good ones. I think they even had the Grace Kelly To Catch a Thief recently. They've had some really good ones. Yes, great time. Well, I'm glad you had a great time, and thank you for joining us. And I want to thank everybody for Ali was in a John Wayne movie too. Oh my gosh. My stepfather loved some John Wayne. I grew up on a lot of John Wayne movies. Like, my friends would be shocked because we would, trivia games were really all the rage, and doing like trivia teams in pubs in England. Like, this is like obviously in the 80s and early 90s started to get really popular. And I would always know so much about like John Wayne movies. It was wild. I can't say I have the same knowledge now, but we used to actually go to the cinemas in England because every once in a blue moon they would play on the big screen the classic westerns and so forth. And I would go with my stepfather and watch all like Rio Grande and all these movies on the big screen. I used to know, what was the one? The last movie he did with Katharine Hepburn. Wasn't that his last film? Rooster. You guys know the film. Rooster Cogan or Coburn or that one. Hey, we're just finishing up Irish Eyes. I'm so sorry. We're just finishing the live. You're going to have to catch us on the replay. Rooster. Thank you. What was the last name of the Rooster? It was something else though. Rooster something. That's a good film. Rooster Coburn. Is that the film? Is that the last one, or was it The Shooter that he did? I know. I want to say it was one of those. Was that his last movie with Katharine Hepburn before he passed? Because it was kind of an interesting one. Because it was kind of because I think he knew he had cancer, so it's kind of sort of slightly interesting because of how he was in the movie and knowing he was sick at the time. Used to go to Katharine Hepburn's house in Martha's Vineyard when I visited. Loved her, great actress. Oh, Katharine Hepburn was awesome. Rooster Coburn. That's when ST got the word ablutions from. Oh, God. It was The Shooters. Thank you. Thank you. You remember on Golden Pond with Henry Fonda and Catherine? Oh, yeah, that's a really good one. Yes, Rooster Coburn. That's a good movie. Oh, that was Thomas. Thomas gifted you the membership. Drop some thumbs up emojis in the chat for that. Yeah, it was with Lauren Bacall. That's a good film. See, it's been a long time since I've watched these movies. But the other one that I did watch recently, which, you know, I love the old Laurence Olivier films. So I love Rebecca and Wuthering Heights. Oh, my God. Those films are so good. And they had both of those recently on. I love Rebecca. Rebecca has got to be one of my... I've read the book, too. The novel is so good. Daphne du Maurier, such a good novel. I'm sure everyone's watched Rebecca. Love that film. Still love that film. And Wuthering Heights. Lauren Bacall was from Tampa. She was beautiful. Yes, yes. All right, guys. I could talk all old movies all day long, and I think I'm just going to go watch one now. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy end of March. March-a-Palooza. April-Palooza coming up. We're on the countdown. True Grit was one of your favorite John Mayne films with Glenn Campbell. True Grit's a really good film. Hard to name. There's some great films. I remember the one where really early on where he played like a diving instructor and they had that old school like diving equipment. I think he died at the end. That film was wild. I can't remember the name of that one. You watched it 2 Christmases ago? M? That sounds good. And there's a bunch that, like, if you have YouTube Premium, I tell you, they always have like a really like some of those films. It's a great number of movies you'll get. It's really a good deal. not that I'm sponsored by YouTube, even though I am a creator. You watch Rebecca? Oh, that's a good film. That is an awesome film. Rebecca is a great movie. I tell you, last night I dreamt I went to Mandalay. Oh my gosh, I love that. Just the whole novel is so beautifully crafted. It's got to be one of my favorite suspense novels. It's so good. So good. All right, guys, Dr. Strangelove. Well, not Peter Fonda. God, I'm off on a trip. Oh my gosh, not Peter Fonda. Oh gosh. How can I? Oh my gosh, I can't remember his last name. I'm having a brain moment. The actor that did all to Pink Panther. Peter Sellers. There we go. He was actually from Portsmouth, England, in an area called Southsea. So they have like a plaque to his home because he was originally from my part of the UK. So yes, Peter Sellers. I got there in the end. I know. Matt Q. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I finally got to Peter Sellers, but he was a very interesting. I mean, he's got some interesting psychopathies, old Peter Sellers. But yeah, he was from my part of the UK, so they do have his home listed as a historical house, along with Charles Dickens, of course. All right, guys. Tim is probably going to be frying steaks, I guess. How much do you want to bet that we're going to get a steak on the Q1200 video by the end of tonight, if not tomorrow morning? In 1930, Peter Lorre. Oh, yes. Oh, he's a fascinating character, too. But I'm trying to think of that film with Vincent Price where he plays the drug addict. Oh, it was a great film. I watched it. I was like, dang. Like, you know, they were dealing with some heavy topics in this stuff. Like, dang, this guy's like, you know, supposedly an opium addict in his house and stuff. You know, it was like so wild. It was so good. I wish I could remember the name of the film. All I know is it has Vincent Price, a burnt steak. Yeah, he's going to be burning steaks tonight. I want to put money on the fact that at some point there is going to be released, if it's not tonight, tomorrow morning, by the time it's uploaded, a Q1200 burnt piece of carcinogenic meat on the on screen. Something I will not want to watch. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get dinner. It's been such a pleasure. Thanks for sharing it with me. I love doing these little love hearts. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.